I'm Anita and I study in the Education University of Hong Kong. The teacher training program has been very different than the training I received back in Hong Kong. I've learned different skills the teacher uses to keep the students engaged in their class. While in Hong Kong, they use a more authoritative style of teaching, so students are mostly passive and we just absorb the knowledge. But here I have learned how the teacher actually wants the students to give her some knowledge if needed and just participate in class. So I've learned different styles of teaching and communicating with the students. My school placement was great, so I came a little late to Canada due to some personal issues. But as soon as I arrived to the placement, the teacher just accommodated to my needs and she knew I was late. She was really, really friendly and she did the best she could on those little days that I went. And she tried to bring me to different classes that were not hers. And she gave me books that I can bring back home to Hong Kong and use it to teach my students. So she was really nice. And one thing I learned, which was one of the most important for me, is how the teacher emphasized on building close relationship with the students, because otherwise the students might not respect you. And that actually, if they don't respect you and are not motivated to learn, it basically beats the whole purpose of teaching. So I did learn some key things in the placement and I'm really glad I can take it back to Hong Kong and apply it in my career. Yes, definitely it did. Like, as previously mentioned, I learned a lot of different pedagogical skills which I would not learn in Hong Kong because of the traditional style they adopt for teaching students. So hopefully when I go back, I'm gonna apply these skills and I'll make sure I can do the best I can for my students. My most favorite thing about Canada is the diversity here. Like, you see so many different kinds of faces that you get used to them and it becomes so normal that you don't tend to discriminate them or judge them, as opposed to if you're in a country where the minority as in the non-local population is little. So you do get a few looks there because they are curious, like, where is she from and what is she doing here? But in Toronto, that practically doesn't exist because it's so diverse and everyone is so welcoming, which I absolutely love. My homestay, basically the host mom is a single lady, retired, and she is really, really nice because she notices that I'm from a different culture, so I like more salt in my food and I eat a little bit more oily, and she just accommodates for everything. Like, she's like a super mom. I love her so much, and I hope I get to make the most out of the time I spend here. I just want to know her more and keep in touch even once I'm back home. If you get a chance to participate in this program, I really, really hope you make the best out of it because it's not common to get these opportunities, especially if you're from a developing country. So I do hope if you come here, do as much as you can, travel, but you need to study as well, of course. Travel and try to incorporate all these skills in your own career so that this whole experience becomes not only a memory but a fruitful memory at the end. अगर आप यहाँ पे आए तो प्लीज़ कोशिश कीजिए कि आप बहुत कुछ सीखें. ट्रैवल के साथ साथ लाजमी अपने एजुकेशन पे भी फोकस करें क्योंकि ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ बार बार नहीं मिलती. सो